So we have Hungry Snacks Meals in the building.
I wasn't even thinking about me being on the show. I wanted to produce something for them.
Cool celebrity. Like if I went to the mall and stuff, people are like, oh.
The thing was, I didn't even know that anybody ever thought I was ugly.
We look like twins almost.
Okay.
She really wouldn't be
covering any more subjects related. So that's why you got the raw reaction. This is pathetic. It's pathetic. Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl Sweet Pea, and I'm back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Okay, so let me know if you guys can hear. If you can hear, and if everything is crisp and clear, let me know, and then we will get started. Good morning, Bossy Beauty. Good morning, Benz. And Benz, please spell that right. P-E-A, ma'am. P-E-E is piss. That's P-E-E means piss. Benz got me, they already call me Sweet Piss. They already call me Pissy P when they trying to drag me. Child. All right. So this show, I'm going to dedicate a segment, and I think it's needed. I think this segment is needed to clear the air. This is going to be something that has never been really done before. So I'm going to let you guys know what this is going to be about, and I'm going to ask that everyone plays nice, because if we don't, then we won't do this type of show. If the people that are in favor of Nicki Minaj are going to be heard, and people that are in favor of Jen are going to be heard. But if we can't be mature adults to agree to disagree, then we will not do this. So I'm going to try this show out once just to see how it goes. And it's going to be an hour. So it's going to be inside of the lawsuit is going to be a review and recap of our videos on the trial when we do the court document, material. And when we cover it, we're going to now do inside the lawsuit. So we will review and recap episodes as they go. So that way viewers can voice their opinion. It will be a call-in show. Basically, you'll be able to click on the link. You got to show me yourself behind the scenes. However, when you're backstage, you have to show me who you are, and then you'll have your chance to speak. All right? Because I think it's important. Hey, Hype Media. I think it's important that everyone be able to, air whatever they have to say. They should be able to say it. Because I notice in the comments, people like to argue and they get all upset and they get in their feelings. So what we're going to do as this court case goes on, I'm going to do my usual break it down with the court documents and everything. And then we'll have our after show, which will be called Inside the Lawsuit. And then we will review and recap what the first video. And then people will be able to come up and say how they feel about what's going on, where we are in the case. And they'll be able to, just voice, and hopefully it can create dialogue between the two sides and people can come to an understanding. Okay? Because we should be able to have conversations without getting all worked up. So we did the first show and we covered the documents. And so what I want people to understand is for this particular video, this lawsuit and what it is about, you need to understand what is actually being brought up in this lawsuit. What is being sued, who is being sued, and what they are being sued about. Okay? That is where I want people, that you cannot go off of opinions. We're not going to be going off of who we think won. We're not going to be going off of because people are our faves. And I learned a very valuable lesson yesterday when I was a part of a panel that was about, some information or whatever and some gossip. I learned a very important lesson in being non-biased. It's okay if you have your opinion about people. It's okay. But the minute you voice your opinion, if you are not in favor of others' opinion, they want to hold you hostage to what you feel, but they're allowed to run amok, cuss, scream, go crazy, call you names, drag. They're allowed to do all of that for their fave. And I want us to take the emotions out of it, be logical. We're going to go and stick to the facts, stick to the court documents. And then when we start having the discussions, we can talk about how we feel. You guys can say how you feel, who's winning, what do you think, whatever. But as long as we are on the topics and we are talking about the lawsuit, the documents, we need to look at this by fact. And I don't care what people feel that, what makes you think they're going to win by default and whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Let's just go off of the facts. Remember when they did that to me with Tasha K? They haven't learned by now? They haven't learned by now. Remember, they did that to me with Tasha K. They said I didn't have the right documents. They said the documents were fake. They said she didn't lose the summary judgment, only to find out that she did. So we have to be very careful of the, accusations that we make. I never said that Nikki lost or won. I never said that Jen lost or won. I simply broke down the documents, showed where we were in the case, and that's it. And I gave how I feel about it. I would never paint a narrative in favor of my fave in this situation just so I could look good and just so they could look good. I'm not going to do that. I gave you guys both sides. I gave you the entire case, what's going on, and let you make your own opinion. But to sit there, you can't sit there and say, well, based off of this and based off of that, this is what usually happens. This is how it usually goes. We're not here to say what usually happens and how things usually go. We are here to stick to the facts, and that's that. We are not the judge. We are not the jury. We are not Jen. We are not Nikki or Kenny. We are the public. We are on the outside looking in. So the only thing we can do is read the court docs and go by what we see in the court documentation. We cannot use our personal emotions to persuade anyone into believing otherwise. We need to stick to the court documents, period. If you have an opinion, you have an opinion, but we can't paint a narrative because we want barbs to come to our channel or we want to stroke people's egos. We cannot do that. We have to be fair to all parties involved. So inside the lawsuit, episode 1 is going to be dedicated to breaking down this lawsuit, what this lawsuit is about, who's being sued, and the elements. What is Jennifer Hough suing for? Is she suing for the crime that took place back in 94? Or is that just the basis for what she's suing for? See, that's the difference. So we're going to, pick apart and dissect exactly what Jennifer is suing for and who she's suing, who's been served so far, who's actually being represented by an attorney, and who is not being represented by an attorney. We're going to break all that down because there was a lot of different accusations. So let's get into it. But before we do, I have a quick word from our sponsors.
Royal Creations Customized by Lynn is your one-stop shop for all your customized needs. She specializes in t-shirts, hoodies, gift baskets, tumblers, anything that you want customized. Royal Creations Customized by Lynn can get the job done. Be sure to follow her on Instagram and Facebook at RCC by Lynn. If you want to send her an email, you can contact her at rccbylynn@gmail.com. She even has a YouTube channel, All Things Creative, on over there on YouTube, All Things Creative. Share her videos, subscribe to her channel. Royal Creations by Lynn is your queen of customizing.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's get into it now, y'all. Let's go. Good morning, Monica. Good morning. All right. So what is actually happening here? What is Jennifer suing for? Okay. It's just going to be quick because I got somewhere to go today. I'm going out with my peoples. We are going to Baltimore Harbor to have some crabs, child. So I'm going to get this out the way and then I'm out the door. I'm going to go enjoy my Sunday afternoon. Eat and drink and be merry. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm going by myself. No kids. Child, we going to be grown, honey. Going to do grown people things. All right. So let's just do the full screen so everyone can see. This is the complaint. So whenever a lawsuit has been filed against you, the very first document that is entered in PACER is the complaint. Basically, PACER is the file, the court electronical filing means to file records, okay? PACER is the only electronical storing method that courts use. There is nothing else other than the actual courthouse itself. There's nowhere else that documents are housed. So there was a person that stated they saw documents, saw that Kenny had actually been served before Nikki back in August, blah, 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 whatever. No, ma'am, Pam. There is only one storage home for court documents, and that is PACER. Whatever has been entered into the court clerk's office is viewable on PACER only. It is not viewable anywhere else. The actual document, not that free website that people use that tells you movements of the case, what has been happening and the movements anytime a document is filed. Free doc, whatever it is, free document, whatever that site is, it just tells you when a document was entered, but it does not show you the actual document. So these documents are nowhere else. They are only on PACER or in the courthouse itself. Okay? Period. Now, as you see up at the top, it has a case number, complaint. It is also stamped jury demanded. Okay. So that debunks the theory right there that was also being perpetuated, that Jen did not want this to go to trial in front of a jury. She was hoping that they would lose, or Nikki would somehow settle behind the scenes. The narrative that Jen wanted to settle behind the scenes is false. We have to go by the documents in court. We cannot go by the court of public opinion. We can't go by what we feel or what we think we know. We have to go by the physical documents. So this show is only going to be dedicated to facts. All right? When we break this down, it is going to be by factual paperwork, not our emotions. Our emotions are going to be last. Period. So, it was jury demanded. So Jennifer is the plaintiff and Nikki and Kenny are the defendants, meaning Jennifer is the one that filed this lawsuit, and it is jury demanded. She requests that she is heard by a jury. So that damn is a lie. She did not want to try to settle behind the scenes and extort anyone. She wanted it to go to trial, okay? Plaintiff Jennifer Hough brings claims for witness intimidation. All right, I got to look at this myself so I could see. I can't see. All right, so you guys can still see it, but I got to flip my screen so I'll be able to see this and read it. So this is what the complaint is about. This is what the lawsuit is about. This is what she is suing for. Jennifer Hough brings claims for witness intimidation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, harassment, assault, battery, sexual assault, and sexual harassment against defendant Kenneth Petty and defendant Nicki Minaj collectively, and now alleges as follows. Plaintiff's claims include, but are not limited to, witness intimidation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, harassment, assault, battery, sexual assault, and sexual harassment by defendants. Plaintiff seeks to hold defendants liable under various legal doctrines, including without limitation, vicarious liability, strict liability, respondent superior, aiding and abetting liability, and other grounds. Jurisdiction and venue. This court has personal jurisdiction over defendants under and consistent with the constitutional requirements of due process, in that defendants acting directly or through their agents or apparent agents committed one or more of the following: the transaction of any business within the state, the making of any contract within the state, the commission of a tortious act within this district, the ownership, use, or possession of any real estate situated within the state. The court has supplemental jurisdiction over plaintiffs' related claims under state and local law. Plaintiff is a resident of Florida, while defendants are both residents of California. Plaintiff felt the bulk of defendants' action in the states of Georgia and New York. Damages far exceed the $75,000 threshold for diversity jurisdiction. Who are the parties involved? This basically says Kenneth, Nikki, and Jen. Facts common to all causes of action. So, this paragraph is titled Facts Common to All Causes of Action. This is where they get into explaining the facts behind the lawsuit, which is Kenneth and Jen's relationship as children, meaning how they knew each other, not a relationship that they was together. No, how they knew each other. What's the relationship to the parties? Okay. How Jen and Kenny know each other is because Kenny did XYZ to Jen, blah, 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 blah. And this is where we go into the sexual assault. This is where we go into him taking a plea deal in violation of the 94 conviction. This is where they admit that Kenny did not register as a sex offender. Plaintiff knew Petty from their childhood neighborhood of Queens, Jamaica, New York. Jamaica, Queens, New York. Plaintiff was never in a relationship with Petty. Now, mind you, we got to also remember that when we have, good morning, Queen of Harlem. Hey, everyone. Hey, yes, I'm here for the mess. Hey, Miss Claudia, Angel in Disguise. Benz, Lila, Clark, everyone's Monica. So this is where they're starting to explain everything, what the basis of it is and everything like that. But this is where they admit to some things. Now, remember, we are here for the facts. Stick to the facts. Shut up, hype. Kenneth was convicted and found guilty of the assault against Jen. People are hung up on the attempted R word, that it says he was convicted of attempted R word. The reason why it is attempted R word is because when a person accepts a plea deal that's been drafted by the state, the DA's office, what they usually do is downgrade the charges so that they can get a lesser sentence. That's the whole point of a plea deal. That's the whole point of a person taking a plea deal, so that they can get a lesser time in jail. And in order to do that, they have to lower the charge. You cannot be found guilty of first-degree rape and think you're going to do 4 years. It will not work like that. So a plea deal outlines all of that. What we're going to be downgrading your charges to, what you're going to be pleading guilty to, because the word plea means I'm copping a plea. I'm taking a plea deal. When you enter in a plea, that means you're going to say I'm either guilty or not guilty. So we got to understand the courtroom dialogue and lingo when breaking down a lawsuit. It is to avoid an expensive jury trial, and it is also to to prevent going to trial and being found guilty of something more severe and possibly spending longer time incarcerated. That's the whole point of taking a plea deal. That's what the word plea means. You're willing to accept the plea of guilty or whatever to whatever charges you work out. That's what a plea deal is. You're willing to say you are guilty to the following in exchange for a lesser sentence. That's how that goes. All right. So I don't know why people are trying. That's where they try to poke holes in the lawsuit by somehow deminimizing. That doesn't lessen the act. It doesn't lessen the crime. They do not disagree that Kenny did it. They do not say that he did not do the crime. So that's where you got to pay attention to what you do not see. And if you refuse it and go to trial and lose, you get the total max for the original offense. And you also, if yes. So this show is dedicated. This is episode 1, Queen of Harlem. Now that people that are just now getting here, these after shows are going to be dedicated to reviewing and going over our main court show. When we do our main courtroom doc show, we will then have an after party, basically an after show to go over everything, and people could talk about, and I'm going to invite people up with the link and they can discuss how they feel. But we're only going to go off of the court documents. We're not going to go off of what we think we know, what we think we can prove. No, we're going to go off of the documents, and that's it. People can say how they feel, but we have to stick to the facts. We cannot try this in the court of public opinion. This is being tried in the courtroom, and it's being documented with paperwork. Hey, Miss Mary. So that's what we're here to do. All right. So they do not deny that Kenny did the crime. Okay. So they said, in violation of his 1994 plea deal, Defendant Petty failed to register as a sex offender in California. Defendant Petty faced criminal charges in California for failure to register as a sex offender and has since taken a plea deal for failing to register as a sex offender. So they admit, and he's taken another plea deal. Kenny takes plea deals because he knows he's guilty of things. So he takes plea deals. He doesn't fight it. He doesn't go to court. He says, I want a plea. So they now have given him a plea deal, which we are waiting to find out what that is. So he gave his statements and everything to these people, and they gave him a plea deal. So he has admitted. He also said he was guilty, right? He said he was guilty of that, of not registering as a sex offender. He pled guilty. So he took a plea deal as, failing to register as a sex offender. This recent not registering, he's taken a plea deal. That's right there in paragraph 11. In violation of his 94 plea deal, he took a plea deal for failing to register as a sex offender. In violation of his 94 plea deal, Defendant Petty directly and indirectly intimidated plaintiff not to speak out concerning the rape she experienced at the hands of Defendant Petty. In violation of his 1994 plea deal, Defendant Petty directly and indirectly threatened plaintiff not to speak out concerning the rape she experienced at the hands of Defendant Petty. So basically, the rest of these sentences say the same thing, 2 charges that she's having filed. Paragraph 19. Defendant Nicki Minaj directly and indirectly reached out to plaintiff Hough's family members to ensure plaintiff would recant her legitimate claim that Defendant Petty raped her. So this is where the basis of this, the question, why is Jen suing? We have already discovered the what. What is she suing for? We covered that in the first paragraph, first pages. Now we're getting down into why. There's always those questions. What, who, what, where, when, why, and maybe sometimes how. If you know anything about English class, anything about writing essays. Those are the questions that you have to answer. Who, what, where, why, when, and sometimes how. So now we are at the why. Why is she suing? Because they indirectly threatened her. And why? For what? So that Kenny can be removed off of the sex offender registry. So now we got the what are we suing for? Intentional infliction of distress, and amongst other things that we covered up here. Brings claims for witness intimidation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligent infliction of emotional distress, harassment, assault, battery, sexual assault, sexual harassment against defendant Kenneth Petty and defendant Nicki Minaj collectively. That is the what. What are we suing for? And now, why? Because all of the stuff that happened to Jen back in 94, and now that Kenny is married to Nicki Minaj, he wants to be removed from the sex offender registry. So this is why he was intimidating, witness tampering, all of those claims. This is the why. Why would a person do that? Oh, because they want me to get them off of the sex offender registry by recanting my story. So then it just continues to go into what she experienced in 94 with the rape. Okay. Defendant Nicki Minaj directly and indirectly intimidated plaintiff to recant her legitimate claim that defendant Petty raped her. So when they say directly and indirectly, they're saying she sent people either by text message, phone call, email, social media, and then she directly maybe called once when Jen said that I got word that you wanted to help us out with the situation. So it was directly and indirectly. This is why Nicki is being brought into that, because you also had a part in this, indirectly, whether you want to admit it or not, and directly, whether you want to admit it or not. That's what those words are saying. Defendant Nicki Minaj directly and indirectly reached out to plaintiff Hough's family members to ensure plaintiff would recant her legitimate claim that defendant Petty raped her. Defendant Minaj lied to her social media followers and Queen radio listeners about what transpired when her spouse, Kenneth Petty, raped plaintiff to prevent her rapist spouse from registering as a sex offender in California. As a result of the actions of defendant Minaj and Kenneth Petty, plaintiff has been traumatized her entire life. Plaintiff has been abused and manipulated her entire life. Now, the words entire life is just a blanketed statement. They are no way attempting to assert that Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty, did this her entire life. She didn't know her entire life. That's courtroom jargon. They are not saying that Nicki and Kenny harassed and did all this to Jen her entire life. We all know that. That is just a given. We know that she had to be a child. She was a baby. Nobody even knew each other when they was younger. So we know that it is not legally the exact entire life. There are legal jargons that are used in a court of law, child. So all of this, well, they said the entire life. How could you harass somebody their entire life and you didn't know them? Child, that's legal jargon. Just stop it. It's legal jargon. So plaintiff has moved to multiple states to avoid intimidation and harassment by defendant Minaj, defendant and their allies, legal teams, and fans. So I do not understand why people find that to be a lie or unbelievable, because we all know we watch social media ourselves and we watch what happens out here in these YouTube streets between content creators, and they send people to each other's homes. We've seen people stalk the avatar. We've seen content creators be stalked, their workplaces called. These people will do whatever someone tells them to do if that's their fave. You have a lot of people that are willing to go the extra mile for their favorite celebrity, content creator, or whatever. Okay? And that's very dangerous. We've seen it play out on YouTube where subscribers, fans, they will go all out to prove their point by riding in front of somebody's home, pulling up to somebody's job, finding out, doxing, doing all this shit. So why is it hard to believe that she moved because she was being intimidated and harassed? The Barbs are a large group. They are all over the world. That's a large fan base. Can you imagine Jen being harassed? Her kids, her family? Absolutely, it was happening. The Barbs would do it even without Nicki Minaj telling them to. They do it to me. I have people that come in my comment section and drag me. And Nicki Minaj did not tell them to do that. They're doing it because they are too invested in a celebrity that does not know them. So that's a debunking. We can debunk that right there. We can debunk that right there. See, what I do over here, I stick to the court documents. We're going to read these documents, and I'm not going to allow any false narratives. I do not care what you think you know, who you think you work for, how many people claim to be attorneys, how many people claim to be, well, I work in a paralegal's office. Well, I work in the court office. Well, I'm this. Well, I'm that. I don't care how many people claim to be lawyers, paralegals. I don't care. Courtroom reporters. I don't care. We're going to read the court docs. We are not going to go off of emotion or feelings, period. So now the timeline starts to be covered. Timelines under the Child Victims Act. So the Child Victims Act, for people that were assaulted when they were children, they're going to be citing this act through this trial because she was less than 18 years of age when this occurred. But it is all for the use of establishing motive. All of the referencing what happened when they were young. These are factual allegations. This statement and testimony in this briefing, you swore before a court of law. You are swearing. You would be committing perjury if found that you lied. When they put together this briefing, they're using the court documents from the sexual assault case that he was found guilty of. All of this is in that file. So this is not something that is new. Again, that is the background to this case. So then they go into factual allegations. They describe the violent assault of Jen on behalf of Kenny. And you would have to go back to the other video and listen. I'm not going to read this all over again because we all know this story. So this is where they actually detail the rape. Then they detail Jen escaping from the house where he was doing that to her. Then they detail where he said, "Nobody is going to believe you," as she ran down the stairs. Then they detail 16-year-old plaintiff immediately reports the rape. They report, when she went to the hospital and all of that. This is all that she was checked out, and this is all in that paragraph. That's what that says. And that how they went back to the location where it happened and Kenny was still there. So why, if he did not do that to her, why were they able to find him at the home where it happened? Why was he still on location? He was there, they picked him up, and in consequence, he was locked up. So now victim blaming begins to start because the community now is in favor of Kenneth, as they do with all victims. A lot of times this happens. They want to try to undermine her credibility, and the neighborhood that likes Kenny, his friends and family, they start stalking and harassing Jen and her family, coming up to their home, saying that Jen better recant her story or else something's going to happen to her. Something's going to happen to them. They're going to do this, that, and the other. We had CY on the channel. We interviewed him not too long ago, and he admitted that he was part of this back then, that he was part of the gang that was coming to the house threatening Jen, saying something going to happen to her. Something going to happen. Those was his words. So we even have this next paragraph where Jen is now blamed by her family. And they're saying they don't want nothing to happen to their homes, so they want her to go and tell that this did not happen, because they don't want any people to bring violence against their home. She was constantly beaten and verbally abused, both outside her home and in her home, because everyone wanted her to drop the charges against defendant Petty. Now, no one is asking you to have sympathy for Jen, but I don't know how you couldn't in this instance where she was a 16-year-old child and her family is trying to make her recant that she had been raped by another young boy instead of standing with her. Plaintiff suffers physical violence as a result of defendant Petty's plea. On the day of defendant Petty's criminal proceeding, plaintiff's family forced her to go to the hearing, even though she did not have to be there. She was not testifying because defendant Petty had already taken a plea deal. Plaintiff hid in the stairwell the whole time in mental shambles. And let's not forget, prior to that, before the trial, Kenny's family, mother and father, gathered Jen up. That is in this police report. And they take her down to the station, to the DA's office, and they pretended to be her parents. They pretended to be her aunt and uncle to get her to drop the charges. It says right here in paragraph 62, defendant Petty's parents even took plaintiff to the district attorney's office. They pretended to be the plaintiff's aunt and uncle to get the plaintiff to drop the charges against the defendant. She did not ever get her justice. Okay, I'm sorry, but how could his parents do that in a courthouse where their son is on trial? I'm not sure how that question. I don't really get. Maybe if you can ask that question in a different way. I'm not understanding that question. That they was simply walking. This was not on trial. That wasn't during the trial. That was not during the trial. That sentence does not say it was during the trial. It says defendant's parents even took plaintiff to the district attorney's office, not during the trial. This was before the trial. They pretended to be plaintiff's aunt and uncle to get the plaintiff to drop the charges against the defendant. This was not during the trial. Okay? So that was not during the trial. That was prior to the trial. All right. So shortly after the visit from the defendant's parents, plaintiff's household began receiving death threats. Rumors circulated in the neighborhood that something would happen to the plaintiff if she did not drop the charges. Jamaica, Queens is a tough neighborhood, and threats of that nature are not taken lightly. At this point, the plaintiff's family is beginning to turn on her because they did not want any violence from defendant Petty and his associates being brought to their doorstep. Why would they have to do that if her aunt is the one? They all took her to do the same thing. They were all trying to take her to do the same thing, and they were not successful because the DA wasn't having it. When the DA picks up charges, when the state, see, this is what happened. And I'm really glad that and Crystal Nicole has an awesome channel. She does breakdowns on her platform the way she wants to do them. She does breakdowns of this as well. But I'm sticking to the court documents, not my personal opinion of her. So give me one second. I'm going to do one question at a time. And I'm going to explain where this was at. So if the state, and again, if you do not have experience in the courts, you don't know about plea deals, you've never been locked up, you've never been locked up, then you don't know. All right. When did I become great again? Who said you weren't great? I don't know you, and I don't have anything against you. I don't know you. You can do what you want to do on your platform. And see, then again, like I said, this is a platform where people could say what they want to say. You can say what you want. I don't know you. I don't beef with content creators over your material versus my material. I don't do that. I don't do that. I don't know these people. I don't know Nicki Minaj, but we're going to get into that because that's going to be for afterwards. So I'm not going to get off topic. That's going to be for afterwards. We can do that after we get done with this. We could do that. We could do that after. We could do that afterwards. Give me 1 second, please. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do that afterwards. We're going to stick to, so I'm going to ask that everyone be respectful. You're going to have your chance to speak afterwards because I don't disrespect people. So don't disrespect me. If you want to speak what you want to speak, you can do that, but you're not going to be disrespectful at all. If you like Nicki Minaj, but you're not going to be disrespectful. You're not going to be disrespectful. And where did I say Crystal Nicole was a flip-flop and was a barb? Where did I say that? Okay. I did not say that. And your message says, because this message says otherwise. Okay, so hold on. Oh my gosh. And for the record, I'm 43 years old. I could say what I want to say. I could say what I want. And for that message, I know who sent you that message. And so who sent you that message, you can get out of my chat and you can get out of my DMs, because that's messy. Because now you're taking things out of context. Who goes back and sends a DM to someone that they claim you're friends with, and you just told me, oh, you're mine and I stand for you and all this shit. And then you go back and give a message to someone that I don't even know, stirring the pot. Then you tell them to come over here. Girl, that's messy. You're very messy. And that's why I tried to cut you off last week, which I will be cutting you off after this video. That's messy as fuck. Over some fucking Nicki Minaj, over some fucking court documents. Girl, stop. You too grown and too old for that type of shit. You are too old for that. Yes, very messy. Very messy. I can say what I want to say. Yes, I said what I said was this person sent me a video of yours. She sent me a link to your video. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I said what I said. She always paints the picture in the favor of Nicki Minaj. She's a barb. That's my observation. My observation is that you are a barb, because just like people's observation is that I'm not a barb. I can have an observation just like August and Rello can have an observation of me, and you can have an observation of me. Period. I can have whatever opinion I want to have. And my opinion is Jen was harassed by Nicki Minaj and her husband. Period. What happened back in 94? And if you want to pick apart all of the little, oh, well, she said this and then they said this. I don't do all that. I'm going by the court documents. What the fuck they swore in a court of law happened. This is what they said happened on the documentation. I could say, I never said anything about you in a bad way. I don't know you. I said you were, matter of fact, where's my message? I could read my message. I could read my motherfucking message. Okay. Okay, so I said, this Crystal Nicole girl does a video every time I do one. I used to like her until I saw that she was a barb. Boom. Meaning, I used to like her videos until I saw that she was being biased when it comes to this court case. Because that's my observation of the barbs. That because you stand for Nicki Minaj, you're just overlooking facts. You're overlooking shit that is right in your face because you like Nicki Minaj. So flip-flopping where? I'm grown. I'm 43. I don't have to answer to anyone. What I said, you have good videos, you do. You do got good content. You do make good videos. Go on over there and check out her channel. Everybody know who you are. You have great videos. Go check out her channel. Do I support you? No. Do I support your content with this? No. because we have two different views. We have two different opinions. Does that mean that I can't tell other people to go watch you? No. Same thing I said about August and Rello. Y'all got good content. Y'all are doing great. Your content is good for the people that want to watch it, for the people that are barbs. So my whole thing is, just because you're a barb, just because you're a fan, why do we have to take logic out of this situation? And why do we have to victim shame someone and try to minimize what it was that happened to this woman? That's where I'm at. So any person that tries to minimize what was done to this girl, that's where I'm at with it. Period. So now, that's a done deal. I said what I had to say, and what I look like. Why are people capping for Nikki? She don't care about the barbs. Okay, when does Nikki give money to help them? Okay, Taylor Swift gives fans money when they're in need. Okay, like, girl, right? It's like, so this is, but see, this is where I'm at with this, right? Now, did you see how she said, hold on, guys. I told you I'm going somewhere. Let me do this real quick. Okay. And then did you see that? So let me show you. Let me show y'all who the person is that gave the receipt. Look. Now, I'm going to tell you, no, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'll handle that behind the scenes. I'm not even going to do that. But this is why I tried to cut you off before. This is why I tried to cut you off last week. I know you hear me and I know you're listening. This is why I tried to cut you off last week. That was very shady. Who does that? You were too old for that. Why would you go and send her a text message like that? Who does that? Who does that? You're mad weird. Just like you sat there and set that girl up online with a bunch of other women. Y'all sat there and set her up knowing that you knew all along she was a liar, just so y'all could cause some type of, video for views. That was just stupid. It was nasty, terrible, and immature. And then we're having a private conversation and you sent a text message that was an innocent boom. I said, so did you send her the message that came after it? So this was the entire message. She sends me a clip of her video because, mind you, I had already done my video. So she sends me the clip of that and I look at it and I see that it's her, right? So I said, this Crystal Nicole girl does a video every time I do one. I used to like her until I saw that she was a barb. I'm not into victim shaming. I really don't believe Jen is trying to scam anyone. Okay? So did you, when you were running over there trying to start shit, Why come on someone else's channel to cause BS when you can go on your own channel and do your own commentary? Great bloggers stay on their own page and don't care about. Exactly. Do you see me going around? Do you see me going around to other people's communities, starting shit with people? Do you see me doing that? No. This is the same thing they did with Tasha K. They did the same thing with the Cardi B lawsuit. And then once it was proven that Tasha lost and she was a liar, what were they? All the people that was making videos that was saying I had the wrong docs, all of that. What did they do then? They got quiet. No one came and apologized. No one said you was right. No one said none of that. They just went on about their business, right? To be honest with you, and it's just my opinion that she is. Did you see her questions? Did you see how she's trying to poke holes in what Jen's story is? You can try to appear to look like you're being biased, but then you make little innuendos, right? And you try to appear. No, I'm not deleting any comments. No. You try to appear like you're being biased. I mean, non-biased, but you're not, because you'll try to make it look like the person is lying. You try to make, I didn't try to make it look like anyone is lying. I said, I don't believe that Jen is a liar, and I don't believe she's scamming. And this is the thing. In the beginning, I did feel like, I'm not too sure about this, right? And the person that went and showed my so-called text message, she knows. Okay, you guys can have your opinions, but my minds aren't going to let you be disrespectful. You see this comment right here? You see that? You see that? You think my minds are going to let you talk to me like that? You're not going to talk to me like that. So that's why my minds, we don't disrespect people. We don't disrespect people. And you know what? This is a very true statement right here. We could have had a constructive discussion. We probably could have. We probably could have. But that person that stirred the pot and sent a text message that was private between the two of us, who does that? You a grown ass woman, girl. You smiling in my face and you going behind my back sending personal messages. Did you send the message where I said I don't victim shame victims that went along with that text message? I would have had no problem talking about this with her at the end of the, like when I said I was going to put the link up and people could, if you want to have a discussion, you can have a discussion. But if you have a certain view and I have a certain view, we could agree to disagree. We don't have to tear each other down. Why do we have to tear each other down? Y'all are mad weird. So you mad that she exposed how you really feel? Y'all are weird. Y'all have weird energy. I don't know Crystal Nicole. I don't give a fuck about a Crystal Nicole or a blue Nicole or a pink Nicole. I don't know these bitches. I don't give a fuck. Y'all are the ones that are so emotional with people you don't know versus people that you do know. Do you care this much about your own fucking family? Do you go this hard for your own fucking kids and your own family members? Fuck out of here. You're mad that I don't know a Crystal Nicole and I don't give a fuck about a Crystal Nicole. No, I don't watch her. I used to watch her. My statement was, this Crystal Nicole girl does a video every time I do one about this court case. is what I was saying. Until I saw she was a barb. I said I used to like her until I saw she was a barb. I'm not into victim shaming. I really don't believe Jen is trying to scam anyone. Like, what's wrong with that? What's wrong? So y'all don't have people you don't like? Y'all don't have people you don't like? So you like everyone, huh? You like everyone. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to lie like y'all and act like I have a perfect life like you do when you come on YouTube. You try to act like you're perfect. Child. Oh, God. So, child, that's a lie. Girl, you don't know. These barbs, they come in my comment section. Go read some of the comments. Go read some of the comments. Saggy left boob. Go read some of the comments. Oh, yes. They've disrespected me many a times, and I made up with them, so-called accepted their apology through the same people, through the same person that facilitated this text message. That's the messy person, because she's always at the basis of all of these so-called exposures, all of this so-called tea that is found out. She's always the common denominator. She's always the one that found out something and goes and tells people. Girl, your energy is weird. It's messy. I would never do anything like that. You could have a private conversation with someone. Y'all are mad weird. But let me tell you what I tried to do last week. I'm going to read something to you. This is what I tried to do last week, right? I tried to get rid of this person. Now, since we want to expose people, see, I don't usually do shit like this, but now I have to, because you're trying to make me look a certain kind of way. So now I'm going to expose it. Here we go. Because you're weird. You're weird. At the end of the day, you're weird. You're weird. You're weird, and that's weird. So I was told by this person that a particular content creator that they mod for or that they're friends with. And so since my show was interrupted with this, now we just going to go all the way with it. Okay. We're going to go all the way with it because you interrupted my show. So now since you want to send text messages and expose people, because after this, I'm going to still do my content. I'm going to still do my videos. And now I'm not going to be, this was the last person that I dealt with on YouTube. So that'll be the last, you were the last man standing. So now I don't have to worry about anybody. I'm solo. So last week I said, I noticed you stopped coming to my shows. It's okay if it's because of a certain person, because I was told by her that this person knew that she was in my chat, that she was coming to my videos, and this person felt a way because she was coming to my videos, or somebody took a screenshot of her saying, we don't do that over here, when I was talking about the Costco girl, and somebody had came in my chat and tried to say something or whatever. So this particular person stood up and said, we don't do that over here. So that screenshot was sent to the content creator that they mod for. Okay. So that person felt like, why would you be going over there on her platform? This is what was told to me. And so this person was very upset that she was on my show and she was coming to my shows. She was coming to my chat because I don't like her. So you should be over there with her. You shouldn't be over here with me. This is what was told to me, that a third party screenshotted it, sent it to her. And then this person said, I'm grown. I could be wherever I want to be. I could do whatever I want to do. I could watch whoever I want to watch. All of this, that, and a third. So I said, well, I notice you're not coming to the shows and I don't see you in the chat. If it's because of that certain person, I understand. I don't want to ruffle feathers. I'm going to fall back. This is what I said last week. Okay? Because I didn't want to cause any drama between her and the people that she deal with, because I don't deal with those people. So I was letting her know, you could go on over there and I'm just going to be over here, because I don't want any three-way shit. Because now I'm looking at her sideways like, okay, she might manipulate shit I say, or she might go back and say some shit that I say to her in private. So let me just fall back, which is just what she just did. Okay. So I told her I'm going to fall back. So she says, hey, sweet pea, I'm not well. I still have whatever sickness and whatever she was going through. I'm just tired. I was in your chat the other night. I actually fell asleep. So then I tell her about a particular situation of what was going on. And I said, nothing against anyone. I just don't feeling like I did something to people and wondering what's wrong. Like, I'm not going to try to feel like, oh, you're quiet. What's up? Did I do something? I just ask people, you got an issue or whatever? And then if you feel like that, then I'm like, all right, let me just back up from you. You feel me? I said, let me just back up. So she's like, no, I like the way you are moving. And I have been doing some research on my whatever, something she's doing. So I said, oh, that's an open letter. And so then she starts talking about whatever. So she says, hey, we are not beefing. I'll be home around 11. I'll give you a call. So if you were going behind my back, sending messages to people that I said about them, you're weird as fuck, lady, because I tried to cut you off last week because I know you were messy. I tried to cut you off last week because I knew you were messy. And you sat there and said, no, don't do that. I like how you're moving out here in these streets. You're weird. You are always at the foundation of somebody's shit. You are always at the foundation. You're just weird. So at the end of the day, like I said, when we cover this and we do the after shows, if people want to say how they feel, they are more than entitled to do that. But you don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to be disrespectful. I was talking to my friend, my so-called friend. Somebody that I talk to almost every day. We talk about our private lives to each other. I just told you about a house I purchased last night. We talk to each other about private situations. And that's what you're doing? You're going behind my back, sending people messages. You're weird. That's weird. Goodbye. Like, you're weird. That's weird. And so I'm gonna yeah, it's bird behavior. And I have somewhere to be honest with you. Yeah, we really are gonna have to, because I'm gonna have to I have somewhere to go. And like I said, they took up the whole hour that I was trying to do this, and they actually got us off topic. I have to go. What I see, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't play about shit like this. Y'all weirdos do, but I don't. I take my relationship serious. If I confide in you, that's a big deal for me because I don't fuck with people. I don't have friends. I don't do the clicks. But see, y'all key off shit like that. Ooh, look, we gonna set her up. We gonna do this. We gonna say that, and then I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna do. Y'all are weird. Y'all get off on shit like that. I'm a genuine person. I build genuine relationships with people. If I fuck with you behind the scenes, I fuck with you. If I fuck with you behind the scenes, I fuck with you. You are weird as fuck. You are too old for that shit. But don't think that we're not going to finish, because we'll finish when I get back. I have to be to Maryland. I have somewhere to be. I'm going with my peoples. Like I told y'all, I'm about to go eat, drink, and be merry down at the Baltimore Harbor. I will be finishing this when we get back. We will pick up where we left off, and then people will be able to come up and talk whatever they want to talk. But to be honest with you, I'm glad that I knew about this. Thank you so much, Crystal Nicole, for exposing that. I am so glad, because I'm pretty sure she didn't think you were gonna say that. So thank you so much. And matter of fact, I'm gonna unblock you. Because I would really like to hear what you have to say. I would love, to be honest, I think it would be healthy for the whole situation if people with two different ideas, I have my own idea and you have your own ideas about this. It probably would be great dialogue if people could handle it, if people could be mature enough to actually have grown-up conversation and adult dialogue about this case. That would be great, because a lot of people feel like you and a lot of people feel like me. And I was actually that way in the beginning until I did my research and put a lot of things together. I started feeling, okay, and then looking at the entire case, reading it and all that, it changed my perspective. So I never spoke out about this until I was sure what stance I was going to take, period. So you guys should know that I told you that back in, when this shit first kicked off last year or whenever it was, I did not come right out and say anything about it because I wasn't sure how I felt. So I did my research. I researched all of this shit, internalized it, and then I decided what stance I was going to take. I have a right to do that. I have a right to my opinion, just like you do. Oh, Lynn, I'm going to call you, girl. Girl, I'm going to call you. Oh, girl, wait till I tell you what just happened. Girl, I'm going to call you. Oh, yeah, girl. I'm going to call you, Lynn. I am going to call you. Yeah, it looks good. I like that color. Yeah, that's pretty. That's a nice color. That's the same color you had before.
No, it's a little dark. Or maybe.
So, like, everybody can have their opinions or whatever, but, yeah, hurry up because I got to get ready to go. Because, child. And then this is what kills me about people, right? They come up into your face on your shit and act like, oh, no, this wasn't actually the Barbs. This was actually a person that, so what happened was I would have been just fine. The Barbs don't really bother me. That doesn't bother me. Yeah, Lynn, it's Faye. It wasn't the barbs this time. I'm not really bothered by the barbs. What it was that a friend that I call a so-called friend sent a private text message that I sent to her that was an innocent observation that I made, and she sent it to the content creator. Who does that? I don't know that girl, and that girl don't know me. But you're supposed to be my friend. You call me, you talk to me, I talk to you behind the scenes on the phone. We talk about each other's family life, personal life. And you send an innocent message like that, and then she tries to act like it's more than what it is. You don't send the entire message. You just sent the piece of it that looked good for you. Who does that? That shit is shady. Y'all are weird as fuck. That shit shady as fuck. And who the fuck thinks that shit is cute or cool? That's some shady ass shit. Y'all don't know how to have relationships or friendships with people. Period. I can have my opinion about a fucking content creator. I didn't say anything about that girl personally because I don't know her. It wasn't like I said, oh, that bitch is ugly. She talked too much shit. Oh, look at da-da-da-da-da. I said, oh, she's a barb. I used to like her content until I found out she was a barb. I don't victim shame. Boom. Until I found out that she was victim shaming Jen, I can't rock with that. Just like this so-called person that sent the text message said, oh yeah, I don't believe she's lying about the rape. I don't believe she's lying about that. But the lawsuit, that's another story. Okay? You're entitled to that. You are entitled to your fucking opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. Right. Child, but they come and try to but one thing that I'm not going to do, I wish I would go back and forth and scream and yell and off of on my channel with some people I don't know. Like, no. I'll do this lawsuit, say what the fuck I gotta say, and when the people want to come up and talk, that's what they gonna do. I'm not gonna back down from how I feel. Hot shot, come on up, boo. I'm gonna let you talk real quick. I want to talk about this, and then I'm out because I have somewhere to be. We're gonna do this show the right way. This is probably gonna get deleted so that we could do it the right way when I get back. This is not staying up. This is going to be for members only. This is going to go on members only. And then we're going to do this show the way it was intended to be done. Because it's a very, it's needed. It's needed, and that's just how it's going to be. But I'm glad that Crystal Nicole came here and exposed that fake ass snake that was in my camp. Mad weird. I don't give a fuck how you feel. You don't gotta go back and send somebody's motherfucking text messages. Fucking weirdo. Weird. Weird. Like, girl, who does that? One little text message, and then she gonna come up here capping like it was such a huge revelation. He must have left. I'll give him a few minutes. Hot shot. If you hear, come on up with the link. If not, I'm gonna go. This is gonna get on private, and when I come back, we're going to do then we're going to do it, because I'm going to stay biased towards the victim. I'm sorry. That's just where I'm at. I should be entitled to feel like that and still have relationships with people. I should be able to feel how I want to see and how I want to feel. That doesn't mean you can't feel how you feel. But we're going to do this. We're going to do it when I get back. Because to be honest with you, I'm about to go have me some crabs. And because what I don't understand is where they get these narratives from. It's not in the court documents. Like, if you said you're reading the court documents, where did you get that Kenny's mother and father brought Jen to the courthouse during the trial? That's not what the court record said. We read it right here. We read it right there. They never said that. Y'all insert, see, that's that slick shit. You insert little pieces of information. You insert little pieces of information to try to twist a narrative. I'm not looking at the comments, you guys. So these are all questions that I'm going to show you guys in the court documents. Period. We're not going to go off of emotion. We're going to go off of the court documents. So if you want, I'm just going to tell y'all right now, this is a message to the Barbs, to August and Rello, to Crystal Nicole, everyone that has an issue because I am covering this shit. It was all good till I started covering this, huh? Oh, sweet pea queen. I'm sorry. I apologize. You my elder. You're my queen. What's her number? Let me call her. It was all good until I had my own opinion. Oh, because y'all thought, well, what's her stance on Jen and them? Oh, with the person that was well, Sweet Pea feels like this because she felt that's how we all used to feel. We all felt that Jen was a liar and Jen was, because this particular person, she goes around to everybody's platform and she knows about everybody's business. So Sweet Pea feels like this. I don't know when she changed her mind. I don't know when she flip-flopped. I don't know when she flip-flopped. When did she flip-flop? No, Sweet Pea never had a stance, a public stance, because I wasn't sure at the time. That's why I tell everybody, when everybody was doing the videos, Nosy and Hotshot, other channels, when they were covering this, what was I doing? Quiet. I was quiet. I said nothing. I said nothing because I was internalizing everything. I was listening. I was doing my due diligence and researching and reading. This is a lot of paperwork. Then you got all the paperwork from 94. You got stuff. You got other arrests and other shit that Kenny has done. So the same way you want to put Jen's character on trial, why can't I put Kenny's character on trial? Y'all want to say she's a scammer. Y'all want to say all these things. Why can't I do the same thing to Kenny? To be honest with you, I'm more upset with Nikki that she is allowing this shit to go down with Kenny. That's what I'm more upset with Nicki Minaj about. I have always said that Nicki can do fucking better than Kenneth Petty. He is a bum. He is a criminal. He's a murderer. He's a rapist. He's a thug. Period. She needs to do fucking better. And if I'm wrong as a woman for trying to hold her accountable for the type of nigga she with, then so be it. He's a fucking bum. I do not dislike Nicki. I'm more in favor of Cardi B. I am Barty gang through and through. Abso-fucking-lutely. However, I do not dislike Nicki Minaj. I do not dislike Nicki Minaj. I feel as though Nicki can do better, and I feel she needed to separate herself from this shit. She should have separated herself from this. It just makes her look bad in the press, in my opinion. So what are the fans doing? They're taking up for Nicki Minaj because they don't want to see people dragging her. She needs to just distance herself from Kenneth Petty. And as I'm watching Nicki lately, it just seems like she's making decisions and making moves that are weird. She's doing things that makes no sense. Right. And I feel like, yeah, she wanted a thug. She wanted a goon. But it's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too motherfucking much. Like, girl, stop. So that's just my stance on it. I feel like Nicki can do better. I feel like she should do better. And that's just how I feel. I feel like she has so much going for her. Why the fuck would she choose someone like Kenneth Petty? She went and got with a fucking rapist. My guess, I don't see him. I don't see him backstage. There's nobody back there. It's not? Child, you're not blocked or anything like that. Listen, we'll do this when I get back, guys. My StreamYard was actually acting crazy. Let's just do it later. We'll do it when I come back, okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.